history, the first time ranked in the top 25 since 1999, and a win here tonight would tie the all-time program record for wins in a single season that they set last year. We are so thrilled to be here with you. That's Mark Adams. I'm Eric Rothman. Sold-out crowd, maybe the toughest ticket in the country right now. It has just been a whirlwind here in Oxford for these Redhawks fans.
The center of the college basketball universe is not Madison Square Garden. It's not Fog Allen Fieldhouse or even Cameron Indoor Stadium. It's Millett Hall in Oxford, Ohio, home of the number 23 and 24-0 Miami Redhawks.
And they are one of the best offenses in the nation, the number one scoring offense. They shoot lights out, over 90 points per game. Peter Suter, a big reason why.
Yeah, Peter Suter is a magician. Look, this is a guy that pulls victories out of his hat. Late game situation, you want the ball in his hands. He's so efficient from downtown. Wins suddenly appear, as in 24-0, when this guy has the ball magically in his hands. He makes everyone better. I've been here the last 3 days at Oxford, Ohio. This is the happiest team in America. This is the happiest town in America. This is the happiest place in America.
It's not Disney World. It's Oxford, Ohio. The lights out as they announce the starting lineups. They have not seen fans pack this building since Wally Ball in 1999, when Wally Szczerbiak and company took this team to the Sweet 16. This is the first of two meetings this season between these two teams. They will play the final regular season game of the year in Athens, Ohio. You see Travis Steele, he's become the mayor of Oxford in his fourth season. They won 25 games a year ago, already 24 this year.
He challenged his team to learn from winning. Don't worry about learning from losing. This is a winning culture. This is a culture of we. This is a team that is together, and the culture here at Miami is second to none in America.
11-0 in conference. They average 93 points per game. They shoot nearly 40% from three and over 50% from the floor. One of the most dynamic offenses in the nation. Not only can you not get a ticket here, the streets in Oxford completely packed, hotel rooms completely sold out. This is the story right now in Ohio, and the spoiler on the other side, or looking to be the spoiler, are the Ohio Bobcats. And they've had some success under head coach Jeff Boals, now in his seventh season. Ohio beat Miami last year in Athens, and this is a team, they've had some Cinderella-esque performances under Coach Boals when they beat the defending champs Virginia in the NCAA tournament back in 2021.
Yeah, Jeff Boals knows something about upsets, and he wants the running of the Bulls tonight. And he's got Jackson Paveletzke, who's one of the best guards in the country, especially in the two-point range, and can assist it. Jeff Boals has some weapons with those green Ohio Bobcat jerseys tonight.
Miami, the 24-0 record, coach, has not been without some scares. They have played tight games, they've played overtime games, and you mentioned the magic of Peter Suter. How about just the magic of this team continually pulling a rabbit out of their hat?
Well, thanks to ESPN research, Miami is the only team in America that's won 6 games, 3 in overtime, and 3 one-possession games, where they're undefeated as well at 6-0. This team is impervious to pressure, and tonight the pressure mounts again for the number 23 team in America.
Ready for a tip here in Oxford between Ohio and Miami. We welcome in a new audience on ESPN. Welcome to Oxford, Ohio, where 10,000 fans have packed Millett Hall as they get ready to watch the nation's last unbeaten team, the Miami Redhawks, ready to put their perfect record on the line against their oldest rival, the Bobcats of Ohio University, a rivalry that dates back 118 years. Eric Rothman, Mark Adams here with you at Millett Hall. It has been absolutely madness at Millett all season long, Coach.
This has been a basketball explosion in Southwest Ohio. Not about Cincinnati, not about Xavier, not about Dayton, but about the Miami Redhawks, undefeated at 24-0, number 23 in the country, 28 games winning at home, 6-0 in close games. This is an impressive team, welcome to the national stage, Miami Redhawks and Maxson.
Ohio in their green uniforms. We'll start with the basketball. They're 13-12 on the year. Under head coach Jeff Bowles in his 7th season, they beat Miami in a home game last year in Athens, and looking for the road upset here today as the defense of Miami disrupting not only the rhythm of the offense for the Bobcats, but Ohio had to simulate crowd noise in their practice earlier today to get ready for this environment here at Millett Hall.
And remember that Travis Steele, once upon a time an assistant for Kelvin Sampson, you will see a lot of post-to-post double teams. They call it a monster.
Mid-range jumper, J.J. Kelly, the freshman, gets Ohio started. Miami is the #1 scoring offense in the nation. They are ranked in the top 25 for the first time since 1999. They score quick, they spread the ball, they are potent offensively as Ian Elmer gets the lay-in.
That's exactly what Travis Steele drew up today to open up this game. And once again, this team is so unselfish with the ball.
The longest streak in MAC history at 24-0 to start the season. Javen Simmons on the offensive glass. He spent a lot of time in the MAC conference, 2 years at Toledo, now transferred over to Ohio.
Watch how the white jerseys spread the floor. Watch when the ball gets moving, how quickly it moves.
Elmer, a corner three. %90 of the three-pointers made this year by Miami are assisted. They get another one there.
Keep your eye on Jackson Paveleski, number 13 in green. He is their go-to guy. Suter matched up with him.
Paveleski has it. Mid-range baseline jumper for Paveleski.
That's his game, mid-range game. This is a team that takes as many twos as anybody in the country, led by Jackson Paveleski. Another unselfish play inside.
This time it's Antoine Woolfolk, who had D1 offers to play football out of high school. The 6'9", 245-pound forward gives Miami a 1-point lead.
Yeah, from Luke Skaljak, the point guard right there, matched up with the ball.
Offensive foul. Aiden Hadaway lowered the shoulder.
That's preparation. Aiden Hadaway is going to go left, and he's going to go left again, and he's going to go left again, and Skaljak knows it. He kept his left hand. Skaljak just set him up and took the charge. Cerebral defensive play by the point guard of this team.
Here is Skaljak, who's gotten a lot more playing time than was initially anticipated. Their key guard, Evan Ipsaro, injured earlier this year, out for the season with an ACL tear. Skaljak turned the ball over there, but he's been a key cog in the offense since being inserted into the starting lineup.
Well, Ohio had a mismatch early they didn't recognize with Simmons inside, matched up with Skaljak.
Ohio coming off a loss against Old Dominion in a Sun Belt rivalry game. Ohio wants to slow the tempo down, coach, because Miami attacks, and they attack early on the shot clock. Fans wanted a whistle, didn't get one. Here comes Javen Simmons with a head of steam. Lost it, got it back, and he was fouled going up.
Javen Simmons has some Brahma Bull in his game. He will create space for himself at 6'7", 245 pounds. Got a little linebacker in his game from Columbus, Ohio. I hear they play pretty good football over there.
We talked to Jeff Bowles earlier today. You pointed out one thing, is that a lot of teams come into this building wanting to slow Miami down, wanting to play an inside-out game. And despite that strategy, when the whistle blows, when the ball goes up for tip, that seems to go out the window, and Miami has really dictated the pace all season long.
You know, Eric, you bring up a great point. Look, when you play the most efficient team in America, which is the Miami Redhawks, you don't want to speed the game up. You want to slow it down. But it seems like teams get excited to take their best punch and turn up the tempo.
Turnover as Peter Suter dribbled the ball out of bounds. Javen Simmons has some words for him walking down the court.
I think if you're going to beat Miami, it cannot be Ford versus Ferrari. It's got to be a tractor pull. That's how you beat Miami. But I haven't seen many teams try to slow it up against this Red Hawk defense.
Cross-court pass, J.J. Kelly missing the three. That's not Ohio's game. They shoot just 31% from outside on the season.
Ohio is a two-point team. That's where they live. That's where they're successful. If they make any threes at all, it's a big plus for Jeff Boals.
So you talk, Coach, about Ohio on the defensive end because Miami spreads the ball out. Travis Steele was harping on that in pregame today. How do you defend this spread offense from Miami?
You can't allow Skowjak, who has the ball in his hands right now, to get into a gap, because as soon as he brings an extra defender to him or any other Red Hawk gets an extra defender, the ball moves like a pinball. It's hard to chase it.
Skowjak pulls up from three. Miami has started 5 of 6 from the floor and a perfect 2 for 2 from deep.
I like Ohio's patience. I like their shot selection early.
And Paveletzke has 5 early points to keep pace.
He's known as a 2-ball guy, but there you saw his 3-ball ability.
And another one for Miami.
Luke Skowjak has been indefensible here early in the game. Number 3 in white for Miami.
A.J. Sheldon from straightaway 3. He's had the hot hand over the past couple of games for Ohio, shooting 61% from the floor, averaging 15 points per game. Brant Byers buries a deep 3. And Miami living up to the billing in the opening 5 minutes.
Unguardable.
Paveletzke caught in no man's land. Turnover. 5-point early lead. Miami 3 for 3 from deep. We went all access in the locker room pregame with Travis Steele. We'll have that video for you when we return from Oxford.
Fellas, listen, we're the better team. We have to be the tougher team for 40 minutes. Leave no doubt. Let's
go, mindset. 1, 2, 3.
Mindset. Here we go.
Travis Steele letting us inside the locker room for his pregame speech. Eric Rothman, Mark Adams back with you at Millett Hall in Oxford, Ohio. And Coach, it's really hard to describe what Coach Steele has done these past few years turning this program around.
Now, the governor's here, which is a good sign. But I came to Miami games, and there are crematoriums with more energy than Millett Hall over the last 2 seasons before the 25 victory season 1 year ago, and nearly a MAC championship, and then the electric start to this year of 24-0. Travis Steele has transformed Miami back to what they once were when it was all about Wally ball in 1999 to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament.
12 years in Steele's first season as head coach, 15 the following, 25 wins last year, and already 24 wins And we are just a day shy of Valentine's Day in the 2025-2026 campaign. Miami is 6 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 3 from deep. They're looking for another long ball. Comes up short out of the southpaw hand of Luke Skaljak, and a foul underneath will be on Miami and Justin Kirby.
Now ball out of bounds, and the official's going to call it as Ohio basketball.
Ohio, coach, they're shooting the ball well, 4 for 8 from the floor, but it's so hard to just keep pace throughout an entire 40-minute game with Miami.
But I like their energy offensively, and I like their shot selection offensively. They're getting good two-point looks. But the problem is when you're trading threes with twos, that can get into a problem for you.
Miami 7th in the nation in three-point percentage. They shoot 40% from deep. Kirby, spin move, too strong off the glass.
Great defense by Jackson Paveletzke. Now let's see if he can get in the paint. He loves 94 feet. He loves penetration right to the max sign.
A.J. Sheldon, well off balance. He was trying to bait a whistle from our refereeing crew, did not get one. Byers thought about a deep three. Instead, a dribble drive and a foul.
Jeff Boals is livid as he saw a push on one end and then a foul on the opposite end. You know, that's what Brant Byers does so well. You've got to respect his ability to shoot the three ball, and he's added this to his offensive repertoire. He can now put the ball on the floor, he can cradle it strong, and go up and get to the line.
Brant Byers, one of 5 Redhawks who shoot over 39% from three-point range. Byers on the season, a 41% three-point shooter, averaging 15 points per game.
He's been so consistent, 21 double-figure games in the first 24 games. The last game, he only had 7 points. He has not shot the ball well, 3 for 15 over the last 4 or 5 ball games. But this is a guy that's the leading scorer, and he's got a little nasty in him too. He doesn't look like it, but he's got a little nasty in him.
Says as his superstition, he eats an entire bag of candy before each game. I don't know how you run up and down the floor after you take down a bag of M&Ms before the game. Although you were doing that before we got him on the air. Offensive foul, an illegal screen against Ohio. Called it on Jalen Breath. One of the keys, sorry, Coach, one of the keys for Ohio, for Jeff Boals, was take care of the basketball. They have not done that the last couple times down the floor.
Yeah, and they've got to go inside out with the basketball as well. And they've got to get deflections. Jeff Boals wants 40 deflections. Haven't seen that so far tonight on a regular basis. Did see 1 steal.
Some substitutions in the game for Miami. Almar Atlason and Trey Perry checking in over the last few moments as Aiden Hadaway, 2 fouls early for the second leading scorer for the Bobcats.
And had something to say the official before he went back to the bench, and the coaching staff right away got with Aiden Hadaway and just said, be quiet. Remember, he got a flagrant and a technical foul in the first half against Akron, which changed that whole game.
And he fouled out in Ohio's last game in a loss against Old Dominion. And a whistle after the missed three-pointer. A foul against Miami. It's on Antoine Woolfolk, his first.
As you watch the Ohio offense, watch number 13 in green, Jackson Paveletzke. He moves off of screens well, he gets by defenders, and his head's on a swivel all the time. There it is.
Extra pass, Dior Connors drains the triple.
It all starts with Paveletzke. He's the gravity to their offense. He's the guy that draws the extra defender, and then the ball can move ahead of the defense. Well executed by Ohio.
Miami's missed their last 3 from the floor, and Ohio takes advantage to pull within 3.
Ohio's position defense has been tight. They're not giving away dribble penetration routes.
Crossover from Peter Suter. Offensive rebound knocked out of the hands of Justin Kirby. Bobcats will take possession.
It starts with Paveletzke. He drew 3 defenders toward him, and then the extra pass outside to Dior Connors, 6'3", 188. That kid is a shot maker.
Even though Miami, coach, has won 24 games this year, they have allowed teams to stick around. They've had 6 games that have either gone to overtime or have come down to 1 possession.
Yeah, especially lately.
Paveletzky trying to get around Suter. Connors, the hot hand. That one lips out.
Smart play by Paveletzky. Connor has the hot hand. He got him the basketball. Watch the green jerseys, how they're just taking away dribble penetration. That's really what they're trying to do.
Suter goes inside. Little baby hook by Peter Suter, the senior from Carmel, Indiana, who averages 14 points per game.
So efficient.
Paveletzky continues to take a lot of contact. This time, Atlason called for the personal.
Peter Suter, high basketball IQ. Gets into the dead zone, soft, feathery touch. Miami 24-0.
Well, coach, undefeated Miami trying to join some elite company.
The Miami Dolphins, of course, under Don Shula, 17-0 in that magical season. The Indiana Hoosiers, Bob Knight, Quinn Buckner. How about the Indiana Hoosiers in football? Curt Cignetti pulled off a miracle down in Bloomington. In South Carolina, Dawn Staley, they beat Caitlin Clark in the championship game to go 38-0. She is one heck of a basketball coach. And Gino Auriemma and UConn still undefeated right now this year.
Now the question, though, coach, has been leading up to a lot of these Miami games is, do they need to go undefeated to even make the NCAA tournament? They have the strength of schedule, 349th in the nation this year. They have not and will not play a quad one game. It's a worthy conversation of having, but if Miami continues to win and goes even all the way to the MAC championship and comes up short, it's hard to imagine they don't get into the NCAA tournament.
A one-loss team against Division I talent, they're going to be in the NCAA tournament. But they can't afford to stub their toe more than 1, maybe 2 times.
Second foul on Antoine Woolfolk. So the big forwards for both teams with 2 early fouls. Woolfolk for Miami and Hadaway for Ohio.
And Eric, to put a little cap on that NCAA tournament talk and bid talk, you brought up, I think, a great comparison, which was College of Charleston a few years ago.
College of Charleston went 31-3. They had a strength of schedule of 333 in the country. We'll get back to that in 1 second. Before we do, a top 25 matchup Saturday between Big 12 and SEC men's basketball doubleheader. Iowa State, number 5 in the nation, taking on number 9 Kansas at 1 Eastern. And then 14th ranked Florida hosting Kentucky, sneaking into the top 25 this week. Hilton Coliseum and O'Connell Center should be rocking tomorrow on ESPN.
Kansas on a heater after knocking off number 1 Arizona.
Ian Elmer from way outside. Just to go back to the College of Charleston in 2022 and 2023, the 2022-2023 season, coach, they did win their conference tournament, and they were a 12 seed going into the NCAA tournament. They would not have made it had they have not received an automatic bid. Low post miss for Tyler Robbins, the freshman from Pittsburgh. He was fouled on his second attempt.
Travis Steele, he really trusts his players to make plays. Now this is Tyler Robbins, who's a 6'10", 245 freshman. There you can see like a big old Great Dane in there. He's trying to get his land legs with him, but this guy has a big upside. He shoots 60% from the floor, never takes a bad shot, and he throws that big old body around.
Kwani picking up the personal. Right now, though, Miami on the offensive end, 1 for their last 7 from the floor. Ohio hasn't shot much better, but they're getting opportunities to stay in this game midway through the first half.
I love what Ohio is doing because they're playing to their strengths. They're running all their offense through Pavletsky. He's getting into creases. He's got that herky-jerky motion. They're going into 2-point sets. I love what they're doing, playing physical offense.
Javen Simmons draws a double team. Dribbles out of it, finishes with the left hand.
Man, that was just strength on strength.
And Simmons is teed up. He made the bucket. He was arguing with the referees that there was no whistle, and a technical foul on Javen Simmons.
This is where Miami has a competitive advantage against their opponents. They are so poised in every situation. Simmons did get bumped right there. It was physical around the ball, and then he just basically tackles the guy out of bounds. Now, the officials are going to talk about it right now. Take a look at it again.
You're right, Coach. You're right, Coach. It was not arguing the call. It was bumping into Brant Byers. The Byers sold it a little bit. Steve McJunkins, Jeff Vasicki, Josh White are 3 referees.
So the ball was live. It is a flagrant 1 foul, therefore 2 free throws plus possession for Miami. And it is the right call. You can't go grabbing a guy out of bounds. A little bit of frustration right there. And the official calls it right away.
Yeah, he swiped at the ball.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
That's just clearly against the rules. You can't go after a guy who's out of bounds trying to inbound the ball.
You talked about it, the flagrant foul on Aiden Hadaway a few weeks ago at home for Ohio against Akron. And that really derailed that game for Ohio. They cannot afford to lose their focus here on the road against Miami.
It was not only the flagrant foul, but then the technical foul during the dead ball right behind it.
The technical in that game was called on Jeff Bowles. Bowles much more calm and collected here tonight. His team only down by 3, but you can't get derailed by plays like Javen Simmons just made.
You're playing against the number 23 team in the country. You're playing against the most efficient offensive team in the country. You don't need to give them any breaks. They don't need any help to win games, trust me.
Skaljak to his left, flashing on the baseline. Brant Byers got his own rebound, and he was fouled underneath.
The officials are already sensing the frustration of this game, the physicality of this game, and right now, the body language of Ohio looks more frustrated than the body language of Miami. And by the way, I think I can say that for 99% of the possessions I've watched this team this year. They are so mature, so poised, so patient. That's why they're undefeated.
Miami already in the bonus. That is the 7th team foul on Ohio in the opening 10 minutes. With Byers at the free throw line.
This is a huge rivalry game. The Battle of the Bricks. This is one of the biggest rivalries, not only in the state of Ohio, but across the country. It goes back to the early 1900s. This game means a lot, not just because Miami is nationally ranked and undefeated.
217th meeting between these two programs. Miami won the first one in 1908. The final score 27-8.
I was there.
Paveletzke will go to the free throw line to shoot two. A lot of fouls on both teams here in the first half. Suter picks up his first, the 6th team foul on Miami.
Look at how physical this game is. And Paveletzke does the best job with that shaggy hairdo of selling every time he gets bumped. I mean, he's a guy that throws his head back as good as anybody. The official's going to see it, and that time it was a foul.
5 points for Paveletzke so far in this one. Javen Simmons leading the way for Ohio with 7. Brant Byers has 7 to lead the Redhawks. As you see Paveletzke's numbers, his second year at Ohio after starting his career at Iowa State and Wofford. As Paveletzke will come out, A.J. Sheldon comes in to give him a break. 22-18 Miami on top. Eric Rothman, Mark Adams with you at Millett Hall in Oxford, Ohio. Miami has gone cold. They've made just one of their last 8 from the floor.
But even then, we're still on an 80 to 88 point pace. Ball's moving. Here we go.
Suter off the mark.
Great block off. What a great block off.
There's Jesse Burris who retrieved the rebound. Here, Kwani flashing in for the layup.
What great team, 94-foot defense and offense by Ohio. A tremendous block off and then an explosion on the opposite end for 94 feet. Well done.
Miami is used to getting their opponent's best punch. And the Bobcats have come out swinging early. Another miss for Miami, but it's Peter Suter on the offensive glass.
Super Suter. He's there whenever you need him in the biggest spots of the game.
J.J. Kelly, a standout freshman for Jeff Bowles. They are very high on him. He's been an impactful player in year number 1. Burris, oh, he had his pocket picked. Loose ball out of bounds. Miami forces the turnover.
Watch the block off. This is perfect. Green jerseys on white jerseys. The ball hits the floor. That's how good it is. And then the snap pass up the floor. And the big guy sprinting the floor. That's as good as it gets. And then Suter. We called him a magician earlier. This time, this magician manufactures 2 points for the Miami Redhawks.
They needed a bucket there. They've missed their last 4 from 3. And they've gone just 1 for their last 10 from the floor. You see Suter, who had 17 points, 7 rebounds in the blowout win on the road against Marshall the last time out. Skaljack from the elbow. Another one and done possession for Miami.
Well, Ohio's really pushing it now. Turnover.
Miscommunication between A.J. Sheldon and J.J. Kelly.
Now that is an unforced error right there for Jeff Bowles. Look, Ohio's really good in the 94-foot situation, but you also got to be disciplined. And that was just a bad pass and bad timing between 2 teammates.
5 turnovers on Ohio, but Miami has yet to get a point off any of those turnovers. A little over 8 minutes to go here in half number 1.
Ohio going full court pressure, not to get a steal, but to slow down the Miami offense. I like the move by Jeff Bowles.
Peter Suter. Deep 2 for Suter. Suter has got 6. The lead is 6 for the Redhawks. Now A.J. Sheldon, a kick out in the corner. Aiden Hadaway airmails it right to his teammate J.J. Kelly.
Sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good, and J.J. Kelly right on the spot. Watch Suter now. Watch him move without the ball. Watch him get open, and then watch the ball move.
Elmer and a good head fake. Beats 2 men to the rim. Finger roll for Ian Elmer.
I think he's the most underrated basketball player on this team. Ian Elmer has made so many big shots in clutch situations, number 0 in white.
18-9 in the win against Marshall. Gets the steal on the defensive end. Wants to take it himself. Skaljack was calling for it. And overthrew the cutting Brant Byers. 6-point lead for the 23rd ranked Miami Redhawks as they try to keep their perfect record and tournament hopes intact here at home.
Peter Suter is the reason this team, along with a lot of other really good teammates that are efficient offensively, why they are undefeated. Peter Suter could manufacture plays. Peter Suter could knock down a jump shot with a hand in his face. He's a guy that in late game situations, in the 6 overtime and 1 possession wins, he had a 24-foot game winner. In those 6 games, there you see his season numbers. In those 6 tough games, he averaged over 18 points a game, 6.2 rebounds a game, and shot over 52%. This guy is a gamer, especially a late gamer.
Well, Coach, he's from Carmel, Indiana, and he looks and plays like Jimmy Chitwood from Hoosiers.
He does.
And has 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting early in this one. 3 rebounds and 2 assists to go along with it. A 6-point lead for Miami. Over 6.5 minutes left to go here in half number 1. Eric Rothman, Mark Adams with you in Oxford, Ohio. And one, Aiden Hadaway gets the Ohio bench pumped up.
Yeah, Aiden Hadaway, look, he's known for going left 95% of the time. This time, he wheels to his right and then finishes with his left hand. But Aiden Hadaway, if he can add that to his offensive game where he can go right hard and make a quick decision, this kid is hard to defend.
And that was something that Travis Steele was preaching to his team earlier today. You have to make Hadaway and Javen Simmons go to their right.
And he did, and he scored 2 points against Travis Steele.
Hadaway missing the free throw. 4-point advantage for the Redhawks.
Ohio has done a good job of extending their defense, except for the back cuts. And that is a called play by Travis Steele. When Ohio extends and there's pressure, back cut, well executed.
Ian Elmer leading all scorers with 9. Somehow he was able to corral that bobbled backdoor cut pass and finish at the rim.
He's so herky-jerky, so fun to watch. How about that? Jackson Paveletzke.
Paveletzke averaging 14 points this season. Such a hard matchup. Crafty in the lane. The ball will stay with Miami. And Ohio may think about challenging the call underneath.
Jackson Paveletzke, he goes on vacation for about 1/10 of a second, which is why Ian Elmer is wide open. Now, Paveletzke even got his hand on the ball, but just slightly late on the snap of the head and the hand.
Coach's challenge by Ohio. Aiden Hadaway was adamant that he did not touch the ball last. The call on the floor is out of bounds, Miami basketball. And Jeff Bowles using his coach's challenge.
I think it's always interesting when a coach uses his challenge in the first half. Because if you don't win it, you're out of luck for the rest of the basketball game, and that ball is clearly off of a white jersey.
It is off Antoine Woolfolk, it looks like.
Now that should be Ohio ball, unless there's some other angle where it skipped off somebody else. But that clearly looked like an Ohio Bobcat basketball, and I think Jeff Bowles used good judgment right there, obviously. But you're always rolling the dice in the first half when you use your challenge.
You lose your challenge. You do not get another one. You also lose a timeout. And so Miami, we talked a lot about how good their offense is, Coach. But how is Ohio keeping pace right now, only down by 4?
Yeah, I like what Ohio has done offensively. They've been very physical. They are a 2-point shooting team. They've knocked down a few threes, which is a big plus for this Bobcat basketball team. And then defensively, they're extending just enough to challenge threes, but also they got to be careful of back cuts.
Successful challenge for Jeff Bowles. The call has been overturned. And sometimes you have to rely on your players to make those calls for you. And Aiden Hadaway immediately went over to his coach when the call was made and said, "You have to challenge that. I was not the last one to touch the ball," and he was correct.
Yeah, you can't make immature decisions on those calls. And Aiden Hadaway just made a mature decision for his coach.
Ohio has made 5 of their last 6 from the floor. They're shooting 52% on the night.
He wants to go left.
Hadaway backing down Byers on the pivot, left hand, came up short.
All lefty, well scouted. Hadaway did exactly what they expected him to do.
Brant Byers slow to get up, limping down the floor. 3 ball, lips out for Justin Kirby. As now Miami has missed their last 5 from deep.
A great job, Suter on Paveletzke.
Foul underneath. It's against Miami. And it's against Antoine Woolfolk. And that'll be his 3rd.
Yeah, Woolfolk and Simmons are in a wrestling match underneath the basket. And Simmons is a guy that's hard to move off the spot. Woolfolk now will sit for Travis Steele.
And that's a big deal. You know, Woolfolk, not only a big body down low, he's averaging 10 points, 5 rebounds per game. In MAC play this year, he leads the conference in field goal percentage, making nearly 69% of his shots in conference play. And Simmons very happy to draw that whistle. Another missed free throw for Ohio. They're 4 for 8 from the stripe, and a foul to go along with it.
And now Hadaway emotionally responds to the foul, and that's 3 on Hadaway.
Foul trouble has plagued Aiden Hadaway. Not only that, but the foul trouble has led to some emotional outbursts and meltdowns, and you're seeing the mouth running, talking to the referees, and he'll take a seat on the bench and yelling at his coaching staff, frustrated that he was called for his 3rd foul.
Love his passion. Don't appreciate the execution, though.
Coming up tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app, the Women's College Game Day crew will be at the Maravich Center in Baton Rouge to get you set for the biggest game of the night, as number 3 South Carolina takes on number 6 LSU.
Don Staley and Kim Mulkey. I'd pay to watch that one.
Paveletzky has hit that shot twice in a row now, as Paveletzky has 10.
I asked Jackson Paveletzky, when do I know you have it going? He said, when I get to mid-range and make plays.
Peter Suter stops on a dime. J.J. Kelly the flyby. Suter off the glass and in.
So fundamental. Peter Suter, 2-foot jump stop, balanced finish.
Suter's got 8. It's a 5-point advantage for the Redhawks. Just over 4 minutes to go. And a turnover. A traveling violation on the Bobcats. That's turnover number 8.
Now, Paveletzky has it going, and he didn't touch the ball in that possession. They've got to know who their go-to guy is and give him the basketball.
Miami's missed 5 in a row from 3-point range. This is a long 2 for Suter. Quick possession as Kwani comes down with a defensive rebound.
He's going to want to hunt the paint. There he is. He gets to it.
Here Kwani in the corner. Airmails the 3. Miami basketball after the timeout.
Jackson Paveletzky. He's a guy that's going to try to lift you. He's going to bump you. He's going to fade you, and he's going to knock it down. And on the opposite end, fundamentals. 2-foot jump stop, lift fake. He makes that look easy. That's Peter Suter.
We will see you there, Zubin. The Jeep halftime report coming up at the break. Right now, a 33-28 lead for Miami here at home. Eric Rothman, Mark Adams with you at Millett Hall. The longest winning streak in MAC history for the number 23 ranked Miami Redhawks. 24-0. They are ranked for the first time since 1999, and a win here tonight against Ohio would match a record high of wins in a season set last year by the 25-9 Redhawks team.
And this undefeated team is taking everybody's best shot.
Ohio, to their credit, they've kept pace. They're shooting 50% from the floor. Miami, 48%. Almar Atlason, the forward from Iceland, throws that ball out of bounds, trying to draw a whistle. And the call on the floor is deflected out of bounds by Ohio. But right now, Ohio doing a good job forcing Miami to play inside. The Redhawks have missed their last 5 from 3 and haven't got a ton of open looks from the outside.
They're clearing out for Atlason because they have a size mismatch right there. The big fella, the Icelandic man, is taking it right to the rim. Well executed out of bounds play. Good recognition of the mismatch.
A 7-inch advantage over the 6'1" A.J. Sheldon.
Yeah, with Woolfolk on the bench, Atlason brings a three-point shooting acumen to this offense, and he's also pretty good, as we saw right there, especially when he gets a mismatch. Now he's matched up with Simmons.
Simmons got a good look, but Atlason stood his ground.
Atlason built the fence.
Skaljak inside, Byers double pump, and one.
Watch Luke Skaljak right here. He presents the basketball to the outside shoulder where he had the passing angle right there. And this is such a good pass. It's also a good reception by Brant Byers. Skaljak put that the only place he could on the outside shoulder of the receiving Byers.
Second foul on J.J. Kelly. You saw the hesitation in the replay by Byers that allowed the contact. Byers muscled it through. 10-point advantage for Miami. It's their largest lead of the night. Paveletzky inside. Kierkwani, the two-hand flush.
Well, Jackson Paveletzky just makes everything happen for the Ohio Bobcats.
That ends a 7-0 run for the Redhawks.
So between he and Skaljak and their ability to see open teammates and deliver the basketball, once again, Skaljak to Atlason.
Miami had missed 5 in a row from 3. Almar Atlason ends that streak, and Paveletzky quickly answers with a 2.
That's his pace. That's how he loves to play.
Dozen points for Paveletzky here in the first half. Skaljak, the lefty, lift out.
Give it to Paveletzky again. Give him the ball. There he is.
Working against Atlason. Off the mark on a pull-up 3. Not where he wants to settle for a shot.
Well, I guarantee you Miami's going to get a really good shot on this possession.
Suter, spin cycle. Dribble drive, Justin Kirby, the freshman.
How did I know it? Because I saw green jerseys chasing the ball. You are dead when you chase the ball against Miami.
Under a minute to go. Dior Connors. Skip pass and a triple for A.J. Sheldon. Sheldon's first field goal of the game.
This place was starting to get really, really loud. Sheldon with a gutty bomb from downtown, right in front of Travis Steele on the Miami bench.
Shot clock turned off, and the final possession for Miami here in half number 1. They've shot 51% from the floor, 40% from 3.
They'll go high ball screen at 8 seconds.
8 seconds right now. Skaljak. Off the glass, off the rim. Loose ball, 2 seconds to go. That shot does not beat the buzzer. 43-35 at the half for Miami. Brant Byers leads the way for the Redhawks with 10.
Peter Suter, the story, the go-to guy for Miami in the first half.
Miami trying to keep their perfect season intact. The Redhawks have been lights out all season long. The #1 scoring offense in the nation. Up 43-35 at the break as we send it to Zubin and Coach Keats for the Jeep Halftime Report. Well, the Miami swim team has been a staple at Red Hawks basketball games all season long, and our very own Mark Adams getting into the action earlier today. Miami on top 43-35 at the half, and check out Coach getting in the freestyle, getting in the breaststroke. He's getting ready for LA 2028. Eric Rothman, Mark Ledecky back here with you.
My career is over. It's over.
You know, you're not the only one who's gotten in with the swim team this year. How about Coach Travis Steele posing for a picture earlier this year with the Speedo boys? Because earlier today, actually, as Coach Steele appreciating all the support, not only of the swim team, but the entire 10,000 plus fans. Breaking record attendance here at Millett Hall. First half, you know, kind of what we expected from Miami. Fast pace, a lot of shooting. They didn't shoot that well from three, finishing 4 of 10. They missed made one of the last 7 from deep, but really, for Ohio, it's just so hard for them to keep pace.
Well, Peter Suter and company, they are just so smart, and they expose you on mistakes. It's about fundamental basketball. Look, you can invert Peter Suter, who is a great three-point shooter, and put him down low. And then he manufactures points around on the offensive glass. And then, man, when he gets his feet underneath him and just ignites to the rim, it is just so special to watch. But look, Jackson Paveletzke of Ohio, he's put on his own show. Look, he knocks down threes like this, he is a real problem because we know he can make twos. Herky, jerky, head fake, hair flying, back step, knock down the shot. Again, herky jerky, footwork, backdrop. Next thing you know, 2 points. Jackson Paveletzke has kept the Ohio Bobcats in this game.
Ohio shot 52% from the floor in the first half. That's, you know, for them, if they can continue to do that, they'll be able to at least keep it close. The problem is, and you talked about it, trading twos for threes, and then kind of getting in their own way. Aiden Hadaway with 3 fouls early in the game. Javen Simmons picked up a flagrant foul on a boneheaded play. And those are the types of things you can't shoot yourself in the foot if you're Ohio here in the second half.
And Simmons and Hadaway are both in the game. And Hadaway, now Simmons matched up with Peter Suter. Guess who I'd give the ball to? I'd go right at those two guys and get their butts on the bench.
Byers leans in to J.J. Kelly, who's called for the foul. Byers leading all scorers for Miami with 10 points in the first half. And that's another player for the Bobcats with 3 fouls. So now Kelly and Hadaway both with 3.
Yeah, Byers is such an elite shooter. And every time he's open, you just feel like he can put it down, and he's learned how to put the ball on the deck as well.
He was the MAC Freshman of the Year last year.
He's more physical this year. He's getting to the free throw line a lot more than he did 1 year ago.
He's getting to the line a ton here in this one. Now 7 of 9 from the free throw line.
Love the look.
Lowering the shoulder, no.
Woolfolk in the game, remember, he was in foul trouble in the first half. He just built the fence around the basket, really walled up.
Woolfolk playing hard with 3 fouls. Elmer, high dribble over the head of Kelly, and a foul underneath on the Bobcats.
And I think it's on Aiden Hadaway.
Yeah, it's going to be his 4th.
Watch Suter on the backside. He gets his hands on the ball. Elmer never gives up on the ball, and it's called on Hadaway. Now he has something to say, the official, as he goes to the Ohio bench, and the official tells him to be quiet and just go sit down.
So Hadaway, who fouled out of Ohio's loss against Old Dominion, he had a double-double in that game. He's got just 2 points and 4 fouls here in this one, and another foul, this time on a 3-point shooter, as Javen Simmons commits the personal, and Brant Byers will go back to the free throw line.
Brant Byers is one of the most feared 3-point shooters in the country. And look, great execution by Miami to get him that far open. I mean, he was wide open because of 2 good screens. But how does a guy that's that good of a shooter get that wide open on an out-of-bounds play?
He's a 41% 3-point shooter. As a coach, if you're Travis Steele, you're designing your offense, how much of a luxury is it for what you're capable of doing, the plays you're able to draw up, the style of offense you're able to run when you have 5 guys who shoot over 40% from 3.
Well, look, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm a lot smarter when I got 5 guys that can flat out knock it down. And Travis Steele, I think what's fascinating about Travis Steele, that it did not work out at Xavier. He was fired at Xavier. A few days later, he gets hired here at Miami, and he learned from that. He grew from that. He knew what he wanted to do here, and he has executed it. There are 2 kinds of coaches, those who have been fired and those who are going to be. You can learn from that. Paveletzke.
Paveletzke has been dynamite on that mid-range fadeaway. He's got 14 points, 6 of 9 from the floor. Skaljak off balance and in.
And he's the backup point guard on the undefeated team, number 23 in America.
A pirouette in the lane for Skaljak. J.J. Kelly got behind the defense.
Yeah, high-risk, high-reward defense by Miami as they double-team Paveletzke. And here we go with Skaljak again, turnover.
Threw it away. Dior
He should have laid it up.
Right place, right time. Just the 6th turnover on Miami.
They want to get Simmons involved. Good defense by Suter down low.
Paveletzke working, trying to find some space. 10 on the shot clock for Simmons. No shot. A foul on the floor.
Jackson Paveletzke, he wants to feel you, he wants to bump you, and then he wants to step back off of you. He uses that momentum to step back, and then Skaljak, this isn't a fair fight right here. This is the backup point guard. Look, they had a guy that was better, maybe the best player on their team, and Evan Ipsaro. He went out with a knee injury after the UNC Asheville game. That kid can flat play, and he's coaching his best friend and teammate, by the way, Luke Skaljak.
Skaljak has stepped in admirably, but Ipsaro averaging 14 points per game before the ACL tear. 11-point lead for Miami. Peter Suter picked up his 2nd personal foul. Dior Connors. 3 on the shot clock. Paveletzke from deep. Bricked it.
Great defense. Not good defense. That was great defense by Miami.
They go inside to Woolfolk, and Ohio wants a timeout.
How to become a great player? You wait for your turn. Luke Skaljak waited patiently. Injury, he becomes the guy. Woolfolk for 2.
Peter Suter, a standout season for Miami. He's been a magician on and off the court.
You can shuffle it, just deal me 21 cards. You can pick one card out of those 21, don't even shuffle.
Okay, all right, so. Put him in anywhere, right?
Yep.
There you
All
go.
right. I'm gonna do this 3 times. All right, is it in 1, 2, or 3?
2.
Are you positive?
I'm positive.
Okay. That's not your card.
That's not my card.
All right, pick any pile. Pick a card. Pick a card. Pick a card.
Big boy.
Coach, you said some words after the magic trick that we could not air, but Peter Suter put you in a pretzel.
He is a magician. Look, this team is 6-0 in games decided in overtime or 1 possession or less, and he's just one of 5 guys that makes big plays, big shots in big games. That's why they're undefeated. That's why they're number 23 in the country.
Such a joy to be around earlier today, this entire Miami team. A fun-loving crew. J.J. Kelly draws a contact, gets the elbow jumper. He'll go to the free throw line as Ian Elmer picks up his second personal. Excuse me, the third on Elmer.
J.J. Kelly, one of those really good athletes, and Ian Elmer right there, caught with his hands. A little too aggressive on this jump shot, but that's the athlete that J.J. Kelly is. Our producer, Tony DeSanti, just whispered in my ear, is that a Dick Barnett jumper? Now, only the old people are gonna understand that reference, but yes, Tony, it is a Dick Barnett fallback baby Barnett jumper.
That's a fallback bank shot for Peter Suter.
What a call. You're listening.
I am. I'm a good listener. Just, my wife might disagree, but I'm a good listener. 13-point advantage, largest lead of the game for Miami. A.J. Sheldon in the corner.
Now that's what he does. Ohio hanging around. Listen, Miami gets everybody's best shot. The Bobcats aren't going to roll over. Rivalry game tonight in Oxford.
Skowjak muscling his way inside.
He came out of high school one of the best guards in the state of Ohio. Travis Steele and his staff focused on Luke Skowjak, and is he ever paying off as the backup point guard, now in the starting position.
He's got 9, the guard from Brecksville, Ohio. 4 minutes in to the second half. Javen Simmons continuing to be frustrated by the contact he's getting down low and the lack of whistles. But he's still been productive. 9 points for him.
Yeah, but good bully ball down low for Javen Simmons.
Suter fouled.
How many coaches in the country at any level would love to have a Peter Suter in your backcourt when you can invert him and play him right off the block? How many coaches at the major college level would want a Luke Skowjak that can bully his way to the basket, 2-foot jump stop, fundamentals?
Men's college basketball games highlight tomorrow's ESPN lineup that starts at noon Eastern. We have a top 25 Big 12 showdown. Number 1 Arizona hosts number 16 Texas Tech at 6:30. Then number 21 Arkansas hosting Auburn. And then we go out west. Number 12 Gonzaga takes on Herb Sendek's Santa Clara Broncos. Number 1 in the West Coast Conference standings, trying to get to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 30 years.
I love Santa Clara and Herb Sendek, the former head coach at Miami, the cradle of coaches. The coaches on his staff included guys like Sean Miller, now at Texas. Thad Matta at Butler. Of course, Ron Hunter played here, now the head coach at Tulane. Jim Christian, now at Canisius. Rob Senderoff at rival Kent State. And Charlie Coles, God rest his soul, one of the great people to ever coach the game. I mean, I go back to Dick Schreider and the undefeated MAC teams of 57 and 58. I was only 2 then, though. Tate Slock mentored Bob Knight. He was the head coach at Miami. And Darrell Hedrick, one of the great coaches you never hear about. And, of course, the great Ron Harper played here. Wally Zerbiak played here. What a tradition of basketball at Miami.
Last time Miami was ranked in the top 25. This was when Wally Zerbiak was on the floor. They went to the Sweet 16 in 1999. As Suter called for the foul on Pavletsky.
Speaking of Wally Zerbiak in 1999, as we look at the continued physical basketball from call on Suter right there. But Wally ball in 1999, they went to the Sweet 16. Wally Zerbiak, one of our colleagues at CBS, he is watching from the studio like a proud father tonight. In Miami's march to the Sweet 16 with Charlie Coles as the head coach, he scored 53.5% of all the points against high major talent. That's how good the NBA All-Star Wally Zerbiak was here at Miami of Ohio.
Incredible. Knocked off number 7 Washington and number 2 Utah en route to a Sweet 16 appearance in 1999.
Lost to a pretty good Kentucky team.
Miami on top by 10. Just over 15 minutes to go here in regulation. Kirby, the freshman, has only played in 12 games this year. Has hit a couple of big threes here in this one.
Well, he came out of a redshirt year because of the injury to Evan Ipsaro. And this kid's going to be special. Kirby's going to be a guy that every Miami fan's going to be talking about for decades. He can play. Number 6 and 1. Great defense.
Breath got his own miss. Threw it up, missed everything. Third chance for Ohio.
Yeah, Pavletsky's going to settle him.
And the shot clock reset, I believe, when it should not have. The shot did not hit the rim.
Eric, Justin Kirby is just going to be he's going to be a star here, plain and simple. He has that, look at that release on his jump shot. There was a freshman a long time ago, and I'm not comparing the two now, but a long time ago at Davidson, there was a freshman named Steph Curry who shot a set shot, jump shot combination. That's what Kirby does. They call him Steph Kirby here now, his teammates do.
Shoots 50% from 3
yeah.
on the year. They're looking at the shot clock, and it was on the second attempt underneath by Jalen Breath. I believe it hit the rim there. Okay, so the shot clock reset there, but it went all the way up to 30. And now 20. Yeah, just a malfunction or a mishit at the scorer's table. While we have a second here, Coach, you look at Ohio. They're shooting 53% from the floor. And yet, they're down by 13. Just goes to show you how dynamic and explosive this Miami offense really is.
Eric, against Miami, pace matters. There's almost 15 minutes to go in this game, and Miami is sitting on 61 points right now. You can't play Ford versus Ferrari versus Miami. It's got to be a plow truck.
Yeah.
It's got to be a John Deere. It cannot be a racehorse game.
Well, you talked about it before the game, is that so many teams come into this building saying, we're going to slow things down.
Yeah.
We're going to play in the half court. We're going to play inside out. And absolutely nobody has been able to actually execute that.
Now, Miami, the #1 scoring team in the country, and their fans love it. Miami, the #1 field goal percentage team in the country, and their fans love it. Miami, a top 3-point shooting team in the country, and their fans love it.
The buzz around this campus. Listen, it was 40 degrees out today. You had kids out in tank tops and shorts because it's been below freezing here in Southwest Ohio for the last month. And everybody thrilled that the sun has come out and the snow has started to melt. And they're even more thrilled with how their basketball team has performed. Record-setting crowds the last 2 home games, over 10,000 strong here at Millett Hall, as the number 23 Miami Redhawks trying to stay perfect. Eric Rothman, Mark Adams here with you. Coach, what did you learn from our referee?
There's 2 seconds on the shot clock. The clock incorrectly reset during the laying of bricks during the last possession. And so now Ohio gets one opportunity to make a brick count.
The laying of bricks in the Battle of the Bricks. This rivalry that goes back to 1908, named the Battle of the Bricks, after the architecture at both campuses, predominantly featuring red brick buildings.
2 of the most beautiful campuses in the country. Athens, Ohio, Ohio University, and Oxford, Ohio. If you haven't been here, you got to visit these campuses. They are gorgeous.
Quick trigger, Paveletzky, no.
That Battle of the Bricks was won by Miami.
Miami is 5 of their last 6 from the floor.
Back cut.
Byers found Kirby, missed the bunny, loose ball, tie up, possession arrow in favor of Ohio.
Yeah, Kirby with a great back cut right there, wasn't able to finish. In the Battle of the Bricks, we got jerseys on the floor. Now here's where Ohio needs to chip away. And look, there's no secret as to what Ohio does. Jackson Paveletzky is the guy that can make plays, can make his teammates better. He needs to dominate the ball for the next 14 minutes for Ohio to have a chance to pull off the upset tonight.
He's got 16 points. The problem is their second leading scorer, Aiden Hadaway, is on the bench with 4 fouls after scoring just 2 points in this game. So Ohio has become a little bit more one-dimensional with Hadaway out of the game. We talked about the long-standing rivalry between Miami and Ohio that goes back to 1908. Here are some of the long-standing rivalries across the country. Canisius and Niagara go back to 1904. The Battle of the Palouse, a rivalry you participated in as an assistant for Washington State. Of course, the border war. You've got Michigan and Ohio State, Duke, North Carolina, but pretty incredible that Ohio and Miami now playing for the 217th time.
A lot of tradition with both programs. Atlason inside.
Almar Atlason has 8 points. The forward from Reykjavik, Iceland, makes it a 15-point advantage.
Well, Ohio on the verge of getting blown out of Millett Hall. They need offense now, and that's the guy that has to deliver.
Finds Kelly, the freshman. Ohio 4 for 14 from 3. Here comes Suter. The finger roll for Suter, who's made 5 of his last 6 from the floor. The magician pulls a rabbit out of his hat.
Tell you, that magician's fired up right now, too.
Sheldon fouled in the corner.
Trying to slow this runaway train down, Peter Suter. Look, we've seen his ability to invert, go down the block, and make a play. We've seen his ability to knock down a 3-ball. We've seen his ability to play in the mid-range game. Now we see a 94-foot explosion to the rim. This dude can really, really play high basketball IQ.
14 points for Suter. And Sheldon, who will shoot 3 from the free throw line. Top 25 teams highlight our Big 12 SEC men's basketball doubleheader tomorrow afternoon on ABC and the ESPN app. Number 5, Iowa State hosting Kansas in a fantastic Big 12 battle at 1 Eastern. And then Todd Golden's Florida Gators, ranked 14th in the nation, hosting Mark Pope's Kentucky Wildcats. Should be 2 fantastic basketball games.
Can Otega, Owe, and company score against the big trees of Todd Golden and the Florida Gators?
Myers goes down hard, and another whistle against Ohio. This one's on Jackson Paveletzke.
Aiden Hadaway with 4 fouls now back in the game. Jeff Bowles, he has to roll the dice right here, and his second best player has to play well.
Atlason spots up for 3. Offensive rebound, Suter.
Man, is he tough.
Byers switched hands, blocked by Kwani.
One thing about Kwani, number 17 in green, he gives you 110%.
They left Paveletzke alone. Lipped out on the 3. Trey Perry saves it from going out of bounds. That's an over and back violation. Not a great pass to Trey Perry, and didn't have a whole lot to do with it.
But you know, as a freshman, you don't throw that ball backwards. You throw it toward the basket and hope someone can retrieve it for you.
7th turnover on the Redhawks, but they have their largest lead of the game at 15.
Skaljak got a little bit of a rest. We'll see if he's got fresh legs now and it can increase the pace of this game for the highest scoring team in America.
Third chance, Javen Simmons. Now Kwani, 4 opportunities on that possession.
How about Kwani blocking shots, running the floor, just bringing energy off the bench for Jeff Bowles, the Ohio Bobcats.
Skaljak missing the step back jumper out of bounds. Ohio basketball. No love lost in this rivalry between Miami and Ohio. They put the red X over the Bobcats logo in the Miami locker room. Redhawks up 13.
Battle the bricks.
Fellas, listen, we're the better team. We have to be the tougher team for 40 minutes. Leave no doubt.
That's rivalry talk right there. Leave no blanking doubt. How do you do that? You got a guy like Peter Suter, who, believe me, you want him on your team. You don't want to play against him. And I mean this most positive way. He's got a little jerk in him. He's a guy that competes so hard. You want him on your team. He is a great teammate for Miami, but his opponents don't like him at all, and for good reason, because he doesn't want to leave any blanking doubt in this game against the Ohio Bobcats, the Miami rivalry.
2 in double figures for Miami. Suter with 14, Brant Byers with 15. Paveletzke leading the way for the Bobcats with 16. The next highest scorer for Ohio is Javen Simmons with 9. They have not gotten much out of this guy, Aiden Hadaway, who's been on the bench most of this game.
Wants to go
with
left.
Foul trouble.
Yep, wants to go left.
Kwani blocked by Byers. Byers now on the baseline drive, got his own miss. Swarmed and fouled.
You know, Brant Byers is a guy, you look at him, he's wiry. He doesn't look particularly strong. Takes the bump right there, not under control. But you know what? He's strong enough to hold on to the ball and continue to present it to the rim. And he's going to the line time and time again. That's what he's done. He's just learned how to get to the line.
10 of his 15 points have come from the free throw line. He's now 10 for 13. Also has 5 rebounds and a pair of blocks to his name tonight. Longest win streak in MAC history. Miami 24-0, ranked for the first time since 1999. Looking to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2007. Eric Rothman, Mark Adams here with you in a sold-out Millett Hall in Oxford, Ohio. It has been a thrill to be here all day, Coach.
Yeah, this town is electric. This coach is on fire. This team is together. And that's why they're undefeated and nationally ranked.
Last undefeated in college basketball. Paveletzke fading away again. Paveletzke just can't do it all by himself.
And Woolfolk was really smart. He's matched up with Paveletzke there. Get it to Woolfolk. He's got an advantage. They get it to him finally.
It's pretty far out. He'll put it on the deck. Paveletzke stays with him. Elmer, head fake, trying to go for the poster. Instead, he'll go to the free throw line. And the 4th foul on J.J. Kelly.
Ball movement again. That's why Ian Elmer is so wide open and just goes right to the rim as hard as he can. That's commitment.
Kelly and Hadaway both on the floor for Ohio with 4 fouls. It's a short bench for Jeff Bowles, and when you're down 14, you've got no choice but to keep those guys out there. Ohio has really slowed on the offensive end. They're now 1 for their last 11 from the floor. They gave it their best shot in the opening 10-12 minutes, but really since then Miami has broken off and hasn't looked back.
The Miami offense puts so much pressure on you to score and score and score and score. That's what the most efficient team in the country does to you. They get in your head, and eventually you can't handle it. Simmons wants it.
Double team, Hadaway flashing in.
Really good stuff by Simmons. Really good cut by Aiden Hadaway that time. Well read by the guys in green.
There's 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting for Aiden Hadaway, who averages 14 points per game this year. Pull up 3, Ian Elmer.
Javen Simmons went behind the screen. Good luck with that strategy against the most efficient team in the country. And Ian Elmer, who can flat out shoot it.
He's got 13 points and 5 of 8 from the floor. Javen Simmons.
Made him use his right hand.
Second time Skowjak has thrown a corner pass away. They go back to Simmons. Stripped by Skowjak in a late foul.
Watch Javen Simmons, who stays behind the screen. He stays back. Stay right there. You can't do that against Ian Elmer. You've got to jump out on him.
Elmer 2 for 3 from the three-point line in this one. A 44% three-point shooter on the season. 16-point lead for the Redhawks.
What Travis Steele is building here could be a dynasty. If he can keep this thing together, continue to bring in the level of players, and then develop them the way that they have, Miami is going to be a real problem for everybody in the Mid-American Conference and nationally.
Almar Atlason. Offensive rebound. Now Skaljak gives it a try.
He's so good.
4 in double figures now for Miami. Skaljak has 12. Hadaway can't answer. 1 and done for the Bobcats.
Watch Skaljak here. Penetrate, make him chase the ball. Here we go. Matched up with Simmons. He knows he can beat him.
Skaljak slipped on the pivot. Simmons recovered and blocked that ball out of bounds. It'll stay with Miami.
This guy called into service as the backup point guard, now one of the best point guards in the country. He has a sense for the dramatic. He understands when they need him to make points and when he needs to make passes.
The last 6 games averaging 15.5 points, shooting 55% from the floor. He's got 12 points on 5 of 10 shooting here tonight. And the whistle underneath goes against Ohio.
Well, Ohio is getting tired. I mean, they are fouling in every half-court possession nearly.
And now J.J. Kelly has fouled out of the ballgame. 5th foul on Kelly. The freshman retires with 8 points and 3 rebounds.
Between the foul trouble, the frustration, and the firepower of Miami, it's just too much. Paveletzke is gassed right now.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned, the short bench, the foul trouble. Paveletzke goes into every game knowing I'm going to have to play every single minute. And he's done a good job, 16 points. The problem is defensively, if you're Ohio, you try to focus on one guy, and it's like pick your poison for Miami.
There are coaches that have told me, let Suter get 30. Go ahead, let's let Suter get 30. And then try to stop everybody else from getting inside the three-point line, and you give yourself a chance. Okay. But Suter went for 37, and they still won.
Sheldon fading to his right, and a foul on the rebound against Ian Elmer. 8 minutes left to go. Miami looking for win number 25. It would tie the school record for most wins in a season. Up by 19.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Well, the snow finally starting to melt here in Oxford, Ohio. Miami on top at home, 74-55. You look at the conference standings in the MAC, and it looks like we might be on a collision course in the MAC conference tournament. Miami and Akron, who have been the two best teams this year. Travis Steele and his undefeated Redhawks have beat his half-brother, John Gross, and Akron earlier this year by 3. They do not meet again in the regular season. What a fantastic championship rematch it would be this year.
Yeah, listen, John Gross still has conference championship bragging rights on his half-brother, Travis Steele. As you look at the coaching resume of one of the hottest coaches in the country right now, look, Akron is a problem. Tavori Johnson's one of the best scoring guards in the country, and Amani Lyles is just good as it gets inside. And I think this is John Gross's best team he's had at Akron. That's saying something.
We look forward to the MAC championship in Cleveland, second weekend of March. Miami still trying to take care of business in the regular season, though. One of the things Coach Steele has said all season long has been, as Suter lays in another one, has been, we are learning from winning. We don't need to lose to learn. We are learning from winning, and they're winning a lot.
They're winning a lot, and they're cutting a lot without the basketball, like on that last possession.
Hadaway up and under. Still out there with his 4 fouls. J.J. Kelly for Ohio has fouled out.
Travis Steele came to Oxford with a vision as to exactly how he wanted to play. He wanted to load his roster with winners, load his roster with shooters, load his roster with guys he could win a MAC championship and win NCAA tournaments with, and that's exactly what this team is. Number 23 in the country, 24-0. This team is legit.
Miami in a beautiful cut that we want to revisit from Peter Suter a couple plays ago.
Yeah, there's guys that play AI and there's guys that play AOL dial-up. Peter Suter, guess what he is? He's artificial intelligence offensively. Makes a lot of right decisions.
16 points for Suter, the second leading scorer tonight behind Brant Byers with 19. Byers has done most of his damage at the free throw line, 11 for 14 on freebies. Paveletzky missing everything. You mentioned he is just gassed.
Yeah, he just wants to go win the game by himself, and that's not going to happen against this team. You're playing right into the hands of the Miami offense and defense. They psychologically strangle you with the way they play offense. They're good enough defensively, but their offense psychologically damages you.
Turnover number 8 on Miami. Not only are they shooting 53% from the floor, they are 8 for 16 from 3 are the Redhawks here in this one.
The #1 offensive efficiency team in the country.
Ohio just 4 for 18 from three-point range. Paveletzky, offensive foul.
Artificial intelligence versus AOL dial-up. I rest my case. He plays a different level of college basketball. And he's a pretty good card trick magician as well.
And he had you completely bamboozled.
Oh. I still don't know how he did it. I have no idea. He blew me away with that card trick.
So foul trouble for Ohio. Hadaway with 4. Paveletzky now with 3.
I may have murmured an expletive in my disbelief.
Havlicki pushing, colliding with Byers. And Havlicki will go to the free throw line.
Pavlovsky wants a flagrant foul. So does Jeff Bowles. They're going to check it.
Jeff Bowles might get teed up here if he doesn't calm down.
You know, those arms come down pretty aggressively. That's not necessarily a play on the basketball. This could be elevated to a flagrant one. All of it was legal until both arms came so far down.
Does get a piece of the ball on first contact, but it's bringing the arms through.
You know, also, officials are influenced by the feeling of frustration of the game. And you can sense the frustration of Ohio right now, and you wonder if the officials might acquiesce on this play. Look, hand goes around the head, but that's not a basketball play. His right hand might have been playing the ball. His left hand was not playing the ball.
Yep.
I would elevate this to a flagrant one foul.
We already had a flagrant earlier in the game. It went against Ohio's Javen Simmons. And now it looks like Byers might be assessed a flagrant after the review. Steve McJunkins, Jeff Vasicki, Josh White, the three referees.
Very well officiated game. It has been physical. It has been tough. It's been chippy at times. This officiating crew has kept control of this game. We'll find out now.
Jeff Vasicki coming over to give Mark Adams the explanation. It appears that it will be elevated to a flagrant foul on Brant Byers.
Flagrant one foul. It has been elevated, so we'll get the free throws from the Ohio Bobcats and then Ohio basketball underneath the basket. That's the right call.
Maybe next time we're here, Coach, instead of the swim team, we'll get you to do Cotton Eye Joe with the cheerleaders.
Yeah, you know what? In the pink flamingo swim trunks, what do you think?
I don't know. If you try some of those moves, I might be wheeling you out of here.
My wife knew nothing about this. Nothing. She's not very proud of her husband either tonight.
Under 5.5 minutes to play in a rout by the Miami Redhawks.
Well, we are seeing why they are undefeated. They share the ball. They've got a Peter Suter who plays a different level of college basketball. Luke Skowjak, who also has great vision, gets open, passes the ball. Ian Elmer can shoot it. Brant Byers can shoot it, put it on the floor. There's just so many weapons that Travis Steele has. They're just so hard to guard and prepare for. And defensively, they're not great, but they're good enough.
Late in the shot clock for Ohio. Sheldon swatted away by Byers.
That was great defense.
Touchdown pass. Justin Kirby couldn't finish.
Just where Pavlovsky's so good.
Hadaway behind the play, missing the three.
Ohio has no legs. Shots are short. They have been run out of this gym. They simply can't handle the pace of this game and the constant pounding of the Miami offense.
And now just 4 of 19 from three. There's a foul on Jesse Burris.
And Brant Byers goes to the free throw line again.
He's 11 for 14 from the free throw line in this one.
At the line for the Redhawks, Brant Byers, shooting 2.
19 points overall for Byers. Played just 20 minutes in the last game against Marshall, scored only 7 points. So well rested for this one. Coming up next on SportsCenter after the game, star of tonight's game here in Oxford will join the show. And Seth Greenberg previews Saturday's college hoops slate. Plus Pistons coach J.B. Bickerstaff stops by to talk about his first appearance as an all-star coach. SportsCenter with Nicole Briscoe and Michael Eaves on ESPN and the app.
I can't wait to go home and see Seth Greenberg break down the weekend for me.
He'll be ready to do it. If he's still awake.
Oh, he's awake.
This one's going late as Burris floats that one in.
You know, Jeff Bowles would love to go full court pressure. He doesn't have enough bodies.
Starters still out there for Miami as Ian Elmer flips it up and in. He's got 15.
Yeah, it's becoming a layup line.
Deep three from Burris.
How about that?
Red shirt freshman Jesse Burris, averaging just 4 points on the season.
Almost 60% of his shots come from downtown. He looked comfortable there.
He's 3 for 3 from the floor in this one. 7 points. Out of bounds. Miami will keep it on top 83-66.
Ian Elmer, in the last 2 overtime games, he averaged 21 points per game. Gee, I wonder how he did that. Ian Elmer showing off his offensive skill set. Winner.
Well, downtown Oxford, Ohio will be flooded tonight when fans pour out of Millett Hall celebrating what looks like win number 25 for the undefeated Redhawks. They're on top 83-66. How about some historic undefeated teams in men's college basketball?
Listen to these historic names. San Francisco, led by Hall of Famer Bill Russell and Casey Jones. North Carolina, the great Frank McGuire. UCLA, Lou Alcindor and John Wooden. UCLA twice with Bill Walton, Keith Wilkes, Henry Bibby, and John Wooden, and of course, Bob Knight, Scott May, Kent Benson. Those are all of the greatest teams in the history of college basketball, and guess who's chasing them? The Miami Redhawks.
Only team in America without a loss on their record. Peter Suter. The Jordan shrug as he backpedals down the floor.
Wally Zerbiak, are you watching?
18 for Suter, 8 of 11 from the floor. Paveletzky has 20 in a gutty effort here in this one.
It's a great call by you. That's exactly right. I'm just thinking how tough Jackson Paveletzky is. When everything else is going to hell, he's figuring out a way to get him to heaven. That kid really plays hard.
20 points for Paveletzky. The next highest scorer for Ohio is Javen Simmons with 10. Skaljak dribbled it off his foot, and Paveletzky fouled by Byers.
Watch Peter Suter. Look, the thing about him is he never loses his balance. He wheels into that shot, gets his shoulders squared. Yeah, Peter, I agree with you. You can't stop me. You can't stop me.
Coach, if you're a college basketball fan, I would say I don't give a damn about the strength of schedule of Miami.
Oh,
This is a tournament team. They are fun to watch. Why would you not want them in the madness of March?
yeah, everybody talks about the eye test. The eye test is code for if you're not a major conference team, you don't pass the eye test. This team, because of the way they play offensively and they're good enough defensively, they are so hard to guard. They are so good. They play such high-level basketball. Look, it's not dribble, 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 ball screen. Dribble, 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 ball screen. Drives me freaking crazy. This team actually shares the basketball. They play together. They play old-school Hoosier-type basketball. By the way, Indiana State line's about 5 miles from here.
David Simmons off the glass and in as the clock ticks down under 2 minutes to go.
Good for Javen Simmons. Big dudes continuing to compete.
Ohio down by 13. Miami's largest lead was 20 just a few minutes ago, but Ohio running out of time with 1:48 to go.
Look, Peter Suter could play anywhere. Ian Elmer could play anywhere, and Jeff Bowles knows it. Luke Skaljak could play anywhere. Evan Apsara, before his injury, could play anywhere. Brant Byers, the leading scorer, we don't even talk that much about him. All he does is get the free throw line all night tonight. These guys are good enough to not only get to the NCAA tournament, but win NCAA tournament games. Look, everybody thought I was nuts when I said that Wichita State's going to the Final Four. Well, you know what? They did. They also thought I was nuts when I said Loyola was going to the Final Four. Well, you know what? They did. I'm nuts enough to think this team is that good.
Mark Adams, if you want to find him on social media. Eric Rothman sitting beside him and standing tall, buddy. I'm right there with you. This Miami team is awesome.
They're fun to watch. I said Fred VanVleet would play in the NBA, and everybody thought I was nuts then too. Well, you know, he's pretty good.
Four in double figures offensively for Miami, 2 with 20 or more. Byers and Suter. Next on the docket for Miami, we'll go on the road against Frank Martin's UMass team and then back home against Bowling Green.
Yeah, Miami beat UMass by 2 here in Millett Hall. Uh-oh, they're going to UMass.
They're on their feet at Millett. Almar Allison, the exclamation point. Sheldon keeps the dribble after he was tripped. Hadaway with the left hand. Good effort, under 30 seconds to play. Sports Center will be up next, and they will talk to one of the Miami Redhawks. Take your pick, Nicole Briscoe and Michael Eaves.
I vote for the magician, Peter Suter.
90 points for Miami. Most wins in a season in school history. And they're 25-0. The lone unbeaten team in the country stays perfect. A 90-74 win for Travis Steele and the Redhawks. Brent Byers leads the way with 21. Peter Suter not far behind with 20 points as they shoot 52% from the floor and 9 of 18 from 3. We enjoyed bringing it to you. Maction always delivers. For our entire crew here in Oxford, Ohio, we appreciate you joining us. as Miami marches on. First time they've been ranked since 1999, and they're not looking back anytime soon. Travis Steele has the Red Hawks rolling. Our final score, 90-74. Sports Center with Nicole Briscoe and Michael Eaves is up next here on ESPN. For Mark Adams, I'm Eric Rothman saying thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Have a good weekend and happy Valentine's Day. Nicole and Michael, you're up next.